Don in London, hello. It's March 28th, 2010. My videos are all about recovery, and that's recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour, or in my case both substance and behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my behaviour, well, work, relationships, people, places, things, collector, marketing person's dream, wanting things which were offered to me, wanting what I see other people have. These days, less so. So I've been able to separate out what I need on a daily basis to keep sober and what makes life work from wants in life, which probably disappear if needs are met. So less of a marketing person's dream, more of a person able to make choices just for one day about what is good for me. And if I don't know what is good for me, I have friends who help me, and family and community. So we are all subject to the pressures of life, and for me, in early years, I found that drink was convivial, joyful, helped me experience all my feelings and make sense of what I thought life was all about, to be happy, joyful and convivial. So alcohol was my best friend. It helped me access what I thought my feelings are or were on a daily basis. So a convivial drinker for many years, and then into dependency, and then into addiction. And where did I cross the line? I guess with that first drink, simply because it did change the way I felt. So I was not a very secure person growing up, and there was much fear about. Don't tell people what's going on. Keep it to yourself. Put on a brave face. Have a stiff upper lip, as we say in the UK, so that people can't hurt us. And what I didn't realise, if we never learn how to deal with the hurt of life, we never know how to deal with the joy of life, because we have to put something into us to fix ourselves. So these days, less fixing and more living life as it is, whether it's happy or sad. And if we can understand what is happy and learn what is happy, and also learn what is sad, and the difference between the two, we learn what is good for us and what works for us, simply one day at a time. So how did I ever get to a place where I was addicted? Well, if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the result to be always as good as it was, then there was a basic mistake in my understanding of what was helping me and what was hindering me. So alcohol in the end was a hindrance rather than a help. And it's like anything, any form of self-medication can become self-harm if we overdo it and abuse it. And the reason why we do that is because we want the old feeling of goodness back. And these days I realise that good feelings come from being sober. So what helps me? Well, family, friends, community. And in the bracket of friends is fellowship as well. So family are important to me, and I'm a part of family again. And fellowship is important to me. That's the fellowship of AA. It could be any fellowship, depending on the substance I got addicted to. And in my case, my primary substance, alcohol. But there are other fellowships as well, which help people be restored to living a normal life. And normal depends on our life experience and the experiences that are going on. So what is normal to one person may be quite different and not normal to another. So why fellowship? What is the purpose of a fellowship like AA, Alcoholics Anonymous? Well, I can't speak for it, but I can share how it helps me on a daily basis. Keep my sanity as best I can. Experience life as it is, whether it's good or bad, sad, indifferent, superficial, or I can cherish it. We have every experience in recovery as life is. The truth of now, what is spiritual. So I'm an absolute fan of fellowship, a fellowship which has no rules or regulations, which is trying to impose something on me. It's encouraging me to make free choices, to do what is right for me. And that applies to everybody. So anybody in fellowship is in a unique, authentic program to themselves. But there is an overwhelming similarity in our attitudes and behaviour towards either being out of recovery or being in recovery. So we remain who we are, and we're learning who we are on a daily basis. So we may change our attitude and behaviour, so it helps us rather than hinders us. That sounds like a tall order, as many people say, or what an order, do all these things. Give up drink and find a way forwards with a better attitude and behaviour. Well, the whole programme is based on 12 personal steps of action, which are living steps. We learn what these 12 steps of action to change attitude and behaviour are, and then we practice these principles in all our affairs, and that is our living. So 12 steps of action to help people keep safe and sound as best one can in this very difficult world of chaos. And I share the AA preamble, which is the statement of intent that most fellowships have around recovery on a daily basis, which is on this little card here. And then I share a little bit of literature from the Daily Reflections, which covers one step of the 12-step program each month. And I'll tell you what March is. Well, March is step 3, which is about letting go and letting good happen again. So letting go old attitudes and behaviour, letting in new attitudes and behaviour to living life sober. But the AA statement of intent is very, very important to me, because it outlines exactly what a fellowship is there to do, and it's not there to control people or manipulate them, it's there to give them freedom of choice. So here is the AA preamble, or statement of intent. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And it says there, help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety, which means help another person to be sober so they have freedom of choice again. And the only requirement to join, if you wish to, is a desire to stop drinking. And in the Daily Reflections today, this book, all about letting go and letting good things happen. That's all step 3. And we hand it over to what we call the higher power. And the higher power is of your choosing. And for me it's truth, love and wisdom of others, which is my understanding of God working in the moment of now. Truth, love and wisdom of others. So it says here for March 28th, equality. Our membership ought to include all who suffer from alcoholism, that's a desire to stop drinking. Hence we may refuse none who wish to recover, so wherever you come from, whoever you are, you're not excluded. Nor ought AA membership ever depend upon money or conformity, so it's not about your bank balance, it's not about conforming. Any 2 or 3 alcoholics gathered together for sobriety may call themselves an AA group, provided that as a group they have no other affiliation. So it's only about one thing, a desire not to drink anymore. Prior to AA, I often felt that I didn't fit in with the other people around me. Usually they had more or less money than I did, and my points of view didn't jibe with theirs. The amount of prejudice I had experienced in society only proved to me just how phony some self-righteous people were. After joining AA, I found the way of life I've been searching for. In AA, no member is better than any other member. We're just alcoholics trying to recover from alcoholism. And you know, that is so good for me, because it means my view is no better or worse than anybody else's, but hopefully it improves on a daily basis, just a little bit, by sharing experience, strength and hope, and listening to experience, strength and hope from others. So at the end of these videos, when I share the Serenity Prayer, which is to God or good conscience as you understand what works for you, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference for me is simply for today.